Right, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating era, late 1980s Japanese horse racing. We're talking the Heisei Big Three rivalry. Now, many of you know Oguri Cap, maybe an RE1, but we're focusing on the third pillar today, SuperCreek.
The gentle giant, yeah.
Exactly. Our mission here is to really get under the hood of this massive horse. He seemed kind of unfashionable, but, well, he became a champion. And more than that, maybe, he was the horse that basically launched the career of a legend. And Yutaka, if you want to get Teika's origin story, you have to talk about SuperCreek.
Absolutely. And it's that connection, you know? It happened right away. SuperCreek isn't just some name in a list of G1 winners. He's the one who gave Yutaka, who was only, 19 at the time, his very first Group 1 win.
19?
Yeah. And it wasn't some calculated move. It grew out of, struggle and a whole lot of loyalty.
Okay, let's get into this history maker then, starting with just, the horse himself, born in 85. And that giant name wasn't kidding, right?
Oh, not at all. He was a big colt, seriously powerful build, over 500 kilos routinely after his debut. Huge horse.
But known for being quite calm, despite the size.
Very calm, almost stoic. That was his thing. Big engine, but very composed.
Okay, so physically impressive.
Yeah.
But then there's the pedigree issue. This seems key to his sort of underdog narrative.
It really is. That's the core obstacle. See, right at that moment, Japanese racing was changing fast, moving towards speed, wanting horses that mature quickly.
Right, precociousness.
Exactly. And SuperCreek, his breeding was... well, it was a throwback. Sire, dam, both lines were heavy on stamina. He was built for the long haul, the marathons, not necessarily for the faster middle distance races that were becoming, the really big prizes.
So basically old-fashioned right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Which sounds like maybe he wasn't too expensive.
Dirt cheap, relatively speaking, yeah. Because he flew against the trend, the market just kind of shrugged him off. He was a total bargain at the yearling sales. People were scanning for speed. They saw his lines and just, nope, next.
The thinking was just too slow, too much of a grinder for the modern game.
Pretty much. That was the consensus. Too stamina-focused to really mix it with the upcoming speed demons.
Okay, but if he was such a bargain, bred purely for staying power, why didn't they just aim him only at the longest races? Why even try the middle distances?
See, that's the fascinating bit, the paradox of his talent. The sources really emphasize this. Yes, he had that deep well of stamina for 3,000 meters, no doubt. But he also had, enough tactical speed, a decent turn of foot, enough acceleration and cruising speed to be genuinely competitive around that 2,000, 2,500 meter mark. He wasn't just a plotter.
So that blend, stamina and enough speed, that's what the market missed.
Completely missed it. That versatility, that specific balance, gave him the edge his pedigree didn't suggest. It let him challenge horses like Oguri Cap later on.
Right. But even with that hidden talent, the early path wasn't smooth. This is where the partnership with Take really starts under pressure. Injury problems early.
Yeah, roadblocks right away. He got injured just before the Derby preps, which is, terrible timing. Lost all momentum.
Ouch.
And then even worse, when they aimed for the the St. Ledger equivalent, the final classic, he was way short on prize money because of those earlier issues.
The prize money hurdle. You don't earn enough, you can't even get in the big races.
Exactly. So his spot in that crucial G1, it wasn't guaranteed at all. It totally depended on enough other horses with more earnings, actually scratching, pulling out.
Which must have put immense pressure on his young jockey. Take's just 19, as you said, trying to make his name.
Huge pressure, intense pressure, both internal and, from outside. Other trainers, other owners, they're coming to him saying, look, ride my horse. It's guaranteed to run. You'll earn money. Build your rep.
The sensible career move, arguably.
Absolutely. The logical choice for a young rider trying to climb the ladder. Drop the horse with no guarantee. For one, that's a sure thing.
But he didn't.
He refused, flat out. Decided, nope, I'm sticking with SuperCreek. He basically said, we sink or swim together.
Wow.
That kind of loyalty, especially then in that cutthroat world, it was genuinely massive, a huge professional risk.
Incredible commitment. And then fate, or maybe just luck, steps in. Enough horses scratched.
Yeah, a string of scratches happened. And the sources even mention one owner specifically pulling their horse, kind of out of respect for Take and SuperCreek's situation, just to help them get in.
Really? That's quite something.
Isn't it? So the field opens up. And just like that, the unfashionable giant, the bargain buy, he's in the Kika show.
And they grab the chance. Tell us about that race, the G1 breakthrough.
Right, the 1988 Kika show. They rode patiently, kind of mid-pack, let the race unfold. Then, coming around that final turn, Take asks him, and SuperCreek just unleashes this powerful sweeping move, that blend of stamina and speed we talked about.
He just powered away.
Stormed clear, won it decisively by 5 lengths.
5 lengths. In a classic G1, that's dominance.
It really is. And you have to connect the dots here. This wasn't just SuperCreek getting his first G1 win.
It was Take first, too.
Exactly. Yutaka Take, first ever G1 victory. That single race didn't just make SuperCreek a star, it lit the fuse for Take's entire legendary career. Everything followed from that moment, that gamble on loyalty.
And suddenly, he's not the underdog anymore.
Yeah.
He's right in the thick of it. Heisei, big 3.
Yeah.
Clashing with the big names immediately.
Straight into the fire, yeah. The Arima Kinnin later that year, his first major showdown against the others. He's in there against Oguri Cap, the public's darling all-speed, and Tamamo Cross, who was really hitting his stride. SuperCreek runs brilliantly, finishes 3rd on the track, showed he belonged.
But there was a but.
There was a but. Steward's inquiry. He gets disqualified, frustratingly, for interfering.
Oh, no.
Yeah, placing gone, prize money gone. Just a technicality after a great run, but it really highlights how intense that rivalry was, you know? The powerful stayer versus the explosive speed horse, different styles clashing hard.
More setbacks followed, right? Injury again in the spring?
Yep, sidelined again. Missed more big races. Just couldn't seem to get a clear run at it for a while.
But he wasn't done. His real peak, his championship run, came later, autumn 89.
He came back strong. That autumn, he wins the 100th running of the Tenna Show. Autumn, huge middle distance championship, very prestigious. And that win, that finally, undeniably put him right there alongside Oguri Cap and Inari 1, cemented him as part of that historic trio. The Heisei Big 3 was now official, really.
And that autumn win set him up for his most unique achievement, the one that really leaned into that old-fashioned stamina.
Precisely. The following spring, 1990, he tackles the Tenno Show Spring.
Which is a very different race.
Completely different boost. The autumn is 2,000 meters, speed, tactics. The spring is, well, it's a marathon, 3,200 meters, pure stamina test.
And he won it, convincingly.
He did. And in doing so, he became the very first horse in history to win the Tenno Show Autumn, then the spring. Now, Tamamo Cross had done the reverse, spring, then autumn, the year before. But SuperCreek set the standard for winning the speed test first, and then proving you had the deep stamina for the marathon.
That's incredible versatility, mastering both championship distances.
Unparalleled at the time, it really showcased everything he was about.
So he's at his absolute peak. He's just won the Kyoto Daishoten that fall, looking like he's heading for a massive end to the year. And then it just ends abruptly. Tragically, really. Right after that Kyoto Daishoten win, he suffers a serious ligament injury.
Career ending.
Instantly. Yeah. In racing, that kind of injury, especially then, it's usually final. His racing days were over, just like that, right at his prime.
Leaving everyone wondering what if.
Exactly. What could he have done that autumn? In the Japan Cup, the Arima Kinnin against his rivals one last time, we'll never know. That potential, unrealized, it definitely hangs over his legacy. Which maybe makes that Gond Take even more poignant, more legendary. It wasn't just a successful partnership. It sounds like it was incredibly close.
Oh, definitely. Revered even today. You mentioned the sources talk about that joke, right? That SuperCreek was Yutaka's wife.
Yeah, because they were inseparable professionally. Take just wouldn't get off him, even when maybe other rides looked better on paper.
It points to something deeper, that immediate connection. Take himself tells this amazing story about the very first time he met SuperCreek.
Oh, yeah.
He's at the stable, looking over the new horses, and this huge, quiet colt just reaches out, grabs Take's sleeve in his teeth, and just holds on, won't let go.
Really?
Yeah. Take said it felt like the horse was saying, "Don't look at anyone else, you're mine." Like, claiming him right there.
That's incredible. A legendary start to a legendary partnership.
It really sums up their whole story, that immediate, unwavering commitment.
Okay, so he retires, heads to stud. But this is where that unfashionable pedigree comes back one last time, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes. Talk about timing again. Just as he's retiring, the entire breeding landscape in Japan gets completely revolutionized.
Sunday silence arrives.
Sunday silence, the game changer. A true genetic phenomenon. Suddenly, it's all about his bloodline speed, precociousness, dominating everything. And SuperCreek's traditional stamina-heavy genetics, they went from just being unfashionable to being well, commercially almost irrelevant overnight.
So his stud career didn't really take off.
Pretty modest results, yeah. Understandably, given the massive shift in what breeders were looking for, he just wasn't what the market demanded anymore.
So his legacy isn't really in the champions he sired.
Not primarily, no. His legacy is etched in that era he helped define. He lived out his years peacefully as a pensioned hero, passed away in August 2010. He was 25.
And wasn't that timing poignant too?
Incredibly. It was just 1 month after his great rival, Oguri Cap, had also passed away. Almost like the end of an era, right there. SuperCreek's story is about proving a bargain horse, one with old bloodlines, could still be a giant. But maybe even more, it's about launching Yutaka Teke and making that Heisei Big 3 rivalry one for the ages.
A fantastic summary. The calm giant, the stayer who valued loyalty, whose career ended too soon but maybe opened the door for Japan's greatest jockey.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. Check out our other videos for more stories you might enjoy.